Hello everyone, my name is Nan Gimure and today I am going to be reciting chapter 3 of the book called Who Was Roald Dahl, written by Drew Kelly and illustrated by Stefan Marcheski. So let's continue from where we left off. Chapter 3 Adventures. Roald didn't have to wait long for adventure. He traveled across the Atlantic Ocean to Newfoundland with a group of about 40 boys. The group was called the Public Schools Exploring Society. For the last 20 days of the trip, the 12 strongest boys, including Roald, carried packs that weighed over 100 pounds. Roald needed help just getting his pack on his back. They slogged through rain, mud, and swamps. They slept on wet ground like in leaky tents. Mosquitoes were terrible. Roald shaved his head and coated it with tar to keep them from biting. The boys tried to live off of the land, but they couldn't find much to eat except berries and boiled lichen. They were starving and miserable. All they could think of and talk about was food. But when this awful trip was over, though, Roald felt strong. He felt like he could handle anything. Roald got a job in the oil business at Shell Oil Company. He hoped to travel to foreign countries where the company had offices, but Roald was stuck in an office in London. It was dull work. He took the train to work every day, wearing a suit and a bowler hat, and carrying an umbrella. He looked like a boring middle-aged man. An original idea. At age 21, while working for Shell, Roald made an interesting choice. He had most of his teeth pulled out and replaced with fake teeth. He believed that real teeth were more trouble than they were worth with aches and dental work, so he talked his mother into doing it too. After more than 3 years, Roald finally had his chance to go abroad. Shell was sending him to Africa. Roald boarded an old ship for the 2-week voyage to what is now Kenya. Then he got into another smaller boat for 2 more days. It took him to Dar es Salaam in what is now Tanzania. He saw palm trees in tropical splendor for the first time. This is what he had hoped for. He lived in Dar es Salaam with 2 other young Englishmen who also worked for the company. They had a house with servants, a gardener, and a cook. Roald's personal servant, Midisho, became a great friend. He taught Roald how to speak Swahili, the language of the African tribe. Roald, in return, taught him how to read and write. Roald got to see many of the wonders of Africa, animals like hippos, elephants, lions, and giraffes. There were dangers like crocodiles and poisonous snakes. He once killed a deadly black mamba with his hockey stick. He said that the snake was as thick as his arm and was 8 feet long. The black mamba snake. The black mamba of Africa is the longest poisonous snake, up to 14 feet. The black mamba is very fast. It can go 12.5 miles per hour. It is actually not black, but has olive to gray skin. It gets its name from the black inside its mouth, which you see when it is about to strike. A black mamba is shy and avoids humans, so attacks are rare, but if cornered, it will rise up hissing like a cobra and strike repeatedly. Without anti-venom, you'd be dead in 20 minutes. In Roald's time in Africa, there was no anti-venom. The heat was terrible. Roald got malaria. Later, he turned some of his experiences in Africa into stories. He thought later that living in Africa taught him how to look after himself. Those skills were about to serve him well. World War II was breaking out. Roald jumped right into the thick of it. Okay, so that's all that I've read for today. Thank you for listening and for your time. Thank you.